Sometimes you have a bad day. That's exactly what's going to happen if you're a drone pilot. At some point, I promise you, you're going to go out of control. And your really expensive, really beautiful rig is going to smash on the rocks below. Unless you stop by NorthUAV and you try out their Mayday and Mars. I'm here with the CEO of NorthUAV, Kevin O'Rourke, who's going to explain why you need a parachute. Kevin, what is this?
So this right here is the Mayday. It's a really intelligent circuit board that can detect if your drone is crashing, and if it's crashing, it'll deploy a parachute. It uses some really kind of simple machine learning techniques to, analyze what is a normal flight versus, what isn't a normal flight, and from that it can really very accurately predict when you're crashing. It's not like some simple turn to 90 degrees or are you falling, because that stuff doesn't work. Because we started working on this in 2013, and it's we tried a lot of algorithms.
Oh, I have seen a lot of people, myself included, try to come up with some sort of soft recovery system. The whole idea is, you're in trouble. You want to deploy something to at least minimize the impact on your investment. But there's always been a problem, which is, one, deploying cleanly. It's very difficult to deploy cleanly, especially if your craft is spinning. And the second thing is, well, do you know exactly when you're going to crash? It sounds like you've got both of those things licked. Tell me, what kind of parameters is the Mayday using? I know it uses machine learning, but is it looking at angle? Is it looking at G-forces? When does it decide to deploy the parachute?
Sure. Well, I can't tell you exactly how it, kind of determines if it's crashing, but it does use a 9DOF IMU, an altimeter, to all kind of make a prediction. Now, it is working with parachutes, so you have to actually be falling downwards for it to, really release the parachute. You could be like crashing and like spinning sideways, but if you're not going down, a parachute's not going to help you too much. So a majority of it is altitude change, but there is some of it that is angular. Yeah. Let's
talk a little bit about the parachute. How high do you have to be for a parachute to fully deploy?
About 40 feet for all of our parachutes. Yeah, they deploy like within a second. They get them out, I think, really a rapid rate of like 30 feet per second to get them like about 5 feet away from your drone. So if it is spinning, the drone, it'll get it plenty far enough. Yeah.
All right, now let's talk. I like the Mayday, but let's talk about the Mars. What system is this? Spring-loaded, gas-loaded? How does it eject the parachute?
Well, it is a spring-loaded system that is released using just a simple servo arm on the top. Yeah.
Of course, our audience is going to want to know where they can find out more information. Where may they be able to pick one of these up? Tell me about pricing and availability.
Sure. So the Mayday is not available yet for public sale, but you can get it on Kickstarter right now. So for about $75, you can get just the board. We're doing some bundles with all the other parachutes that are a huge discount for the Kickstarter, and we expect for it to go on sale in October. For all the parachutes, though, you can get those right now through dealers on marsparachutes.com.
Kevin O'Rourke, CEO of NorthUAV, thank you very much for talking to us. And if you fly, you need to get some Mayday. It's interesting. Actually, there was another Altus. They made the Skytruck drone.
That's the propellers on the top, propellers under bottom.
Which, by the way, I love. We'll show that segment in a couple of weeks. But they've got a staggered X8 setup where the props on the top are larger and spin more slowly, and the props on the bottom are shorter but spin really quickly. And they say that gives you a really nice combination of performance plus endurance.
That makes sense.
I kind of like that.
Because the biggest problem we were thinking of when you were doing your project is the prop wash, like the dirty air underneath. If you have the larger props and then the smaller props underneath, and yeah, you won't be using as much battery.
Right. Well, I mean, they're talking about it's a huge drone.
Yeah.
And they were still saying they could get 45 minutes of flight time out of it. I'm like, oh, okay, I can't get 40 seconds of flight time out of mine. Yeah.
And see, that seems like a use case for a parachute.
Yes.
Because that landing on top of something would destroy.
It would kill them.
It would kill people. It would destroy property.
That drone, well, it's a $60,000 drone, but it actually has a built-in parachute, and it's not spring-loaded. It's got a CO2 canister, so it shoots way far from the drone and arrests any sort of tilt or rotation.
Yeah.
But I mean, that makes sense. If your drone is worth $60,000, yeah,
you're gonna make an investment to save it. But
that's $500 in a parachute.
But like you're pointing out during the video was you probably would want to save the equipment that the drone is carrying. So like maybe some sort of system to protect the camera rather than like a parachute that.
I want an airbag.
Yeah, like an airbag for your camera rather than a parachute that may shoot out
the wrong way, upside down, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why the CEO of NorthUAV, he was telling us how the board is important because you don't want to deploy the parachute if it's currently upside down.
You have like a Top Gun Goose situation. Goose, no!